Hi, this is Keir. Today we're going to have a chat about template variables. I'm just going to grab my theme and drop it onto Sublime Text 2 and open up the templates folder and open up the page.liquid. Now, if you followed these screencasts so far, you'll notice that in most of them we use the liquid double braces to output variables. This is different from the brace and the percentage, which is for logic when we're looping over maybe a collection or that kind of thing. And here we're outputting the page.title variable. This essentially will output the title of the page that we enter in the admin. So if it was called About Us and we were viewing that particular page, then we would have About Us replaced between these curly braces. Now, all of the templates have access to their own template variables that are specific to them. So, for example, in the case of a page, that's the 6 variables that are unique for that page, things like the ID and the author. But also we have access to things known as global variables, and these are available in every single template across your theme. Now, if you go to docs.shopify.com/themes and pick off, say, theme.liquid as one of the templates, we scroll down a little bit here and it will tell us which templates we have access to in that particular theme file. So the theme.liquid, which is our layout file, that's the one that governs kind of the outer skin, if you like, of our theme, has access to a whole bunch. It has access to our global variables, the blog variables, the cart variables, collections, link list, pages, and shop. So let's have a look at some global variables. Okay, so let's see, what do we have down here? Okay, page title. Now that is a global variable that we could use in our theme.liquid file, and that will output the name of the current page that we're viewing. We've also got template. Template is a global variable. This will give us the name of the current template that we're using. By that I mean things like product or page or index. There's some more as well. What have we got here? Shop. Now let's have a look at the attributes of the shop variable. Now remember that we use the dot syntax in Liquid. So we have the global variable that is known as shop, and then we can do something like a shop.description or shop.currency within our curly braces, and that will output USD or GBP for currency, or the description that we've entered in our admin. So these are global variables, and these are available in all our templates. So let's just go back and pick off, say, something like our page.liquid. Now, there are a few variables that you have access to within page, things like its ID and its handle and that kind of stuff, but we also have access to the global variables, the shop variables, linked lists and collections, and the cart. So let's say we wanted to output one of our global variables within our page.liquid template. How would we do it? Let's have a look. What should we do? Let's grab the template. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to go in here. I'm just going to do this, and so this will output something from our shop global variable. Now the current template is template, and then close that and save it. And then if I go to our store, which is Shopify for designers, and then go to a page, because I didn't put it in the layout file, I did it on an actual page, and you can see here that now we've got the current template is page. So that's giving us the name of the template that we're actually using. Now we could put that in our theme file, theme.liquid I should say, which is our layout file. Now if I did that, let's maybe put it at the top here. Just putting it above where we include the header snippet. Now this should appear on every single page within our site. So there it's gone, the current template is page, but if I go to home, say the current template is index. And likewise, if I go to the blog, it will say the current template is blog. Now that's a really useful variable because it allows us to do some logic if we need it, and maybe show different snippets and that kind of thing depending on the template that's been used. So those kind of variables can come in very handy. Let's have a look at another example. Here's one that we use quite a bit, the cart. This is actually in this demo site at the top here, where I have the number of items currently 0. So let's have a look. So we have the item count, cart.item count. That will tell us how many items are in the cart. Cart.items, and there's a code snippet there that will loop over and sort of tell us which ones they are and give us links to each one of those. We have total price, total weight, all these kind of things. Now I actually put that in the snippet, the header snippet, which is here. And as you can see, the cart.item count. Now I could actually, as that is a global variable available to us in the page.liquid file as well, I could put it in here as well and it would work in exactly the same way. Now let's just go back and go to About, and as you can see there, it's output within our theme.liquid and it's output within our page template as well. Now there are certain places where certain variables aren't available, so depending on the template that you're using, the docs is a great place to have a look and see which template variables you have access to within the different templates. So for example, if we're in cart.liquid, I just scroll down here, we basically have access to the global variables only. So if we were trying to put say page content in there, we can't actually do it in the just by accessing the page variable. Likewise, if we're in page.liquid, we can scroll down and we can see we have access to all these. So I could go to the page and then I could see which ones that I have access to. Equally, if I wanted to go back and I wanted to include something in this particular template about the shop or the cart, as I've just shown you, I can actually do those and there'll be no problem at all. Okay, so template variables are super handy. You'll use them all the time. Maybe you'll just use the ones that are specific to that particular template, like the page, maybe the title and the content. But you can also have access to other things like collections and the cart information, so it's useful to know what's available to you depending on how your design looks. Another good place to look is Mark Dunkley's cheat sheet, which is available at cheat.markdunkley.com. It's a great resource not only for liquid logic and operator tags, but also to find out which template variables are available for each template. So if we wanted to say have a look at which template variables are available for product.liquid, all we have to do is find it on the page and we can click on any of these and it will tell us exactly what that particular variable will return. Of course, if you wanted to use say some page on your page.liquid template and you wanted to pull in some other variables, say from the shop, you've also got access to those kind of more global variables if you like. You just have to find them on the page. Okay, variables are super useful. You use them all the time. Essentially all they do is hold information from your store and then output them into your templates when they're rendered to the browser. So get used to them, have a play around with them, and familiarize yourself with Mark's cheat sheet as well as the docs. These are super useful. They've recently been redone and really easy to navigate. So if you need to find about any variable, such as your global variables, it's really easy to do. There's also some really useful code examples here. So for this one, just to finish off with, we have something about blogs and the cart. So let's have a look. I am going to see about adding in a list of our blogs. Now let's see what blogs I've actually got set up. What have we got? We've got one called News. Okay, cool. So this is my page and I'm just going to copy in the code example there. And so what we're actually saying is for every article in blogs.news, and this is the news blog, that's one that we've called it, the articles, put out the title and create a link to it. And so if I save that and then I go back to my page, fingers crossed, let's have a look at view your website. Here we go. I go back to my about page. As well as the title and the content, I've also got a link to first post, which is the only post we have in our news blog. So there you go. That's just a quick demo of how we've used the blogs variable within our page.liquid template. Hope that makes sense and you find it useful. If you have any questions, do feel free to contact me. My email is keir@shopify.com, or you can find me on Twitter where my handle is @KeirWhitaker. Thanks a lot for listening.